When Suriname declared its independence from Dutch rule 28 years ago, 5 leading Bonoman, witch doctors or shamans, rededicated Suriname back to the ancestral spirits. Recently, a woman toured Suriname claiming to be a reincarnation of an African spirit, the Lion King, and was invited to perform prayers and ceremonies at strategic points around the country and in Paramaribo in particular. Within days, church leaders were called in to assist several local schools. Children were going into trances during class, seeing spirits, and fleeing the school premises in fear. In Suriname, each calendar year is punctuated with Hindu festivals and Chinese good luck ceremonies. Islam, without any violence, is becoming more aggressive in proclaiming its message, while Amerindian animism features prominently as a cultural heritage. Suriname is in the grip of dark spiritual forces. Against this backdrop, the Wesleyan Church of Suriname intends to have an impact. Spurred on by the challenge to double the number of churches by 2005, local churches are establishing preaching points in the other areas of the city, nearby villages, and the border town of Albina. Across the river in French Guiana, a new church has been planted by Suriname's first missionary. The Hindustani-populated border town with Guyana, Nikeri, has been targeted for church planting. As the only Dutch-speaking country in South America, the church continues to dream and pray for the opportunity and personnel for church planting in Curaçao, the Dutch Antilles, and possibly in Holland itself. Many cultures, many religions, and many languages in one small country pose an interesting challenge to the church in Suriname. Anton Douglas, one of our recent Bible school graduates, has successfully planted a dynamic church in Marienburg. Juggling a full-time teaching career, Bible school classes, and upgrading courses at a local university, Anton made time to fast and pray and minister to his fledgling congregation. He had to. You have to drive past the local and very popular shaman, or the Bonoman, to get to the church, which is just 200 meters away. God has blessed his efforts. As lives were transformed one by one, the church attracted others. Now a mixture of O'Connors and former Muslims and Hindus worship the one true God together, and the church continues to grow. All of our church leaders in Suriname are bivocational. 5 active pastors graduated from Het Wesleyaanse Bijbel Institute during this past term. The church is not asking for piles of money, although they would be happy to be offered some, nor for people to pastor their churches, but they are asking for training to make them more effective and creative in ministry. As the new Bible school director, it is my privilege to assume responsibility for meeting their training needs, stimulating new ideas, and challenging them to embrace the Great Commission. In other words, the cycle of missions must come full circle. Recipients of missionary activity must become mission-sending churches in their own right. In Ephesians 4:12, Paul expresses this goal as preparing God's people for works of service so that the body of Christ might be built up. During his short ministry, Jesus wasn't preoccupied by trying to win over the entire Middle East. Instead, he focused his attention on and invested his energies in 12 men who would pick up where he left off. Jesus viewed ordinary daily events and activities as great opportunities for discipling and training in ministry skills. And thus, he highlighted the importance of close relationships with students outside of the classroom. He chose laymen. He saw extraordinary potential in ordinary people, and we must never underestimate what God can do through ordinary people. He gave them the Word. There is no substitute for systematic teaching and training through practice. The Word builds character as it creates a hunger and thirst for righteousness. He prayed for his own. He guarded them by forming them into a team for mutual encouragement, stimulation, and accountability. And finally, he sent them out after their preparation was complete. He gave them brief ministry assignments as learning experiences to prepare them for their task ahead. The Wesleyaanse Bijbel Institute is a vital ministry that ensures a strong and healthy future for the church. As you pray for me and financially support this ministry, you too are helping to teach others to reach others.